Morning. So, have you ever seen those chat thing? Those I'm sorry, not chat things. Those like free seminar things, right? Like you can listen in on a Dean Graciosi or Tony Robbins thing, and it's free. And you know that free might be free in that case, but it's really just going to be a giant infomercial, right? You're going to listen to a bunch of sales pitches, so to speak. Well, I had listened to the um, Matthew McConaughey's book, Green Lights, and I really liked his book. In fact, I can be honest, I probably listened to it in its entirety 5 times. I've recommended it to people. I've sent it to people. I really found his book enjoyable. So he did yesterday a free thing. He's partnered up with a bunch of people, but the two that I know for sure, I know their names are Tony Robbins and Dean Graciosi. I think that's how I say his name. Maybe it's Gracioso. You know who I'm talking about, probably. But anyway, I listened to most of it. There were 2 other guests that I definitely didn't know of or ever heard of before, but doesn't mean that they're not somebody everybody else knows. A lady and an ex NFL player. But the part, sorry about that, I keep getting out of the screen. It blurs. The part that I liked the most, to be honest with you, was the Dean Graciosi. I did find it was a lot of sales pitchy stuff, and that's okay. I mean, that's what they're there for. They're not really there to try to make a free event be life-changing. However, one of the things that Dean said was asking the question why, and he had gotten that from somebody else that he asked to be a mentor of his, and it made me think, remember when you were a kid, or remember being around little kids and everything, the endless why? And it made me think, like, kids are like yelled at for asking why, because why can keep going. And it seemed like that was like this guy's technique, not Dean's, but the guy, well, Dean was sharing it, but the guy's technique was well, keep asking why until it makes your heart flutter, kind of thing. And I was like, wow, okay. So the why, I realized why I like to do what I do is because I actually want people to have that experience of knowing what a horse just said. Being able to truly know what your horse is trying to tell you. And it's not as rewarding for me to take your horse and show you that I can have a conversation with your horse. That's not as rewarding. Or to be able to tell you what your horse just said. The only time that that's rewarding is when it clicks for you and you go, oh my God, I saw that too. Or, where it starts to become something that's inspiring to you to want to have that ability as well. Say gift. I don't think of it as a gift. Well, if it's a gift, I feel the gift is wrapped and put a bow on for me. I don't feel that I have a gift, if that makes sense. I want everybody to have that experience. I want everybody to explore having horses communicate with you and have you really know 100% that you're having a conversation with your horse. And sometimes when I work with people and their horses, um, you know, they want the horse to do something, and the horse starts to do something different than they believe themselves to be asking, and they're able to say, wait, that's not what I said. I meant go that way or something like that. And you watch. I enjoy, the best part for me is watching those conversations, and then I also very much enjoy telling people to take a pause. Like, do you realize that you just had a conversation? Because sometimes people don't even realize they just had a conversation. Like, do you realize that you just had a conversation with your horse? I just witnessed you having a conversation with your horse. To me, that's my why. My why I do what I'm doing is because I want to witness people having conversations. I want to see people's eyes light up when they realize that they did just have a conversation. You just had a conversation with your horse. Do you realize you just had a conversation with your horse? Your horse thought you said, go that way. Your horse on autopilot started to think it should go that way. Oh, but you had a chance to say, oh, wait, that's not what I said. And your horse could say, oh, well then, when your horse took the pause and said, well then what did you want? And then to have the information, because that's what I always say, is like when your horse asks a question, you better have an answer. You have the information available for the horse so that you guys can have that conversation. And when those moments happen, that's when it matters to me the most. Those are the most valuable times for me. So I guess that's my why, because I kept going, well, why do I do what I do? Well, because I want people to appreciate me. No. Because I want people to go, oh wow, that's awesome. No, I do like the wow factor. I'm not going to say I don't. I like when I show somebody how to communicate with a horse and their response is wow. I do like that. I think the wow factor is important to me. I do enjoy that, but it's not because wow, I did it. It's because wow, it's possible for you to do it. That's something. It's not, I don't want to wow you because I can do something. I want the wow to be the inspiration for you to learn how you can do it. Why is that not refocusing? Oh, there we go. And now I'm going to walk away. So I do recommend his book, Matthew McConaughey's book, because I think it was entertaining and I think it was also inspiring. I'm not really sure what he's going to do with this program. I'm not, like, I listen to like Tony Robbins. I've seen like, a Tony Robbins event, that was like pre-recorded or post-recorded, I should say, and thought, yeah, that's all great information. That's really inspiring. But I would say to myself, like, yeah, but I've heard it all. Like, it's almost like boring. And then I thought, like, I wouldn't want to be that kind of public speaker because you're saying the same thing over and over and over again, if you think about it. Because you're not going to change what you say because what you say works, right? So that's another reason, like, I love working with animals is because every experience, every moment is different. Every moment is different. Every horse is different. Every human is different. Every human horse moment is different, right? How that person reacted this time compared to last time. How that person saw the information this time. I love when I say, did you see him ask you? Did you hear him ask you? And to have the person and me not think they just said yes because they thought that's what I wanted to hear, but because I could tell that they really did see the horse ask. I love when I start to see people have the right timing because, so I know I jump around, but I think if I was to recommend anything, I'd recommend this book. I find Tony Robbins kind of boring more because, heard that, don't want to hear it again. There's nothing you tell the same life story, the hardship stories. Dean Graziosi has a hardship story. Even Matthew McConaughey has a hardship story. So I guess it's the most of that is to see if they can get people with hardship stories to relate and believe that they can become these people as well. And I'm sure you can. But is that what you want for yourself? That's not what I want for myself. And then, I thought, well, I want for myself, I want to be able to show up at a barn and have people there know that they're there to see me so that I can help them see what they're missing with their horses. There's so many, like, I grew up, riding in a show team, et cetera, et cetera. I did all that. I did that, maybe even being rough with my horse because I saw an adult be rough with their horse. I did all that, like, stuff. And then one day I learned, I was helping a farm with baby racehorses, and I just loved watching. And the more I watched the way the stable horse took care of the babies, the more I watched how he educated them, the more I fell in love with Blackie, the horse that was kind of like the babysitter. And the more I was like, I want to be Blackie. I want to be the one that guides those babies into having good social manners. And now I want to help everybody else be Blackie. And I want everybody else to have those experiences of feeling that connection. And I guess at first I thought I personally want to be a star, right? But it's not. It's not that at all. It's like I love getting those conversations, those text messages or phone calls or emails that say, I am so glad that I started doing this with my horse because, this happened and I was able to be there to support my horse through that. I recognized. Had I not known how to recognize, I don't know what my horse would have thought of me at the end. That's what I'm doing this for. I'm doing this for those moments where other people feel the value of what I share. Not because I can share it. I love hearing about the moments when they see another horse somewhere else at another farm. And I hate to even say I like hearing I can't go to those kind of events anymore because it's almost like being Dr. Doolittle. It's like you hear all the horses around you like saying, well, I didn't know you meant that. Or, well, it doesn't, I guess I'm sorry, I guessed the wrong one this time. And to have people like know that they're hearing through observation all these horses kind of begging for clarity, begging for connection, begging for understanding, begging for more information. And to hear somebody say that they can see that because of some time that they spent with me,